Hi, this is Krista Lay.
And I'm Craig Aarons-Martin.
We're the co-hosts of the SEL in EDU podcast.
Proud member of the Education Podcast Network.
Each show on the network is independently owned, and the views expressed may not represent those of other podcasts.
For the best education podcast, visit edupodcastnetwork.com.
Coming up on episode number 259 of the House of EdTech podcast, I'm going to talk about gamification in education. We're going to talk about why it works, what it is, and some practical strategies to get you to gamify your classroom. Strike up the band. Welcome to the House of EdTech. My name is Chris Nesi. The House of EdTech launched in 2014, giving me the opportunity to speak with teachers, leaders, and creators so you can more effectively integrate technology, strengthen your pedagogy, and have more confidence in your classroom and school so you can make an impact. Get involved with the podcast by visiting my website, chrisnesi.com. Using technology isn't difficult, and this is where it begins. This is the House of EdTech. Welcome back to the House of EdTech podcast. If you're a new listener, welcome aboard. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. Today, I am getting into a topic that we're going to call gamification. It's nothing new. We've heard of this. This is a topic and something that is transforming the way students learn. Whether you realize it or not, game mechanics are all around us. Think about how apps like Duolingo keep you engaged with streaks and achievements, or how fitness trackers motivate you to hit your daily step goals. Even in professional training, businesses are leveraging gamification to boost employee engagement and productivity. So why should education be any different? When done right, gamification can motivate students, enhance engagement, and make learning more enjoyable and effective. And the best part? You don't need to be a game designer to make this work in your classroom. In this episode, I'm going to break it all down. I'm going to talk about what gamification is and how this differs from game-based learning. I'm going to talk about the psychology behind why and how it works, and I'm going to give you some simple, practical strategies that you could start using right now. Plus, I'll share some awesome digital tools along the way that can help bring gamification to life. So if you've ever wondered how to make your lessons feel less like work and more like an adventure, this is the episode for you. Let's level up the learning right after this. Let's talk about a tool that's as flexible as your lesson plans need to be, Workflowy. If you're like me, your to-do list, lesson ideas, and meeting notes might be scattered across some sticky notes, Google Docs, random notebooks. Sound familiar? Workflowy is here to save the day. Workflowy is the ultimate organizational tool for educators. It's simple, clean, and super powerful for creating outlines, brainstorming ideas, and tracking tasks, all in one place. Think of it like a digital whiteboard for your brain, but way more organized. Here's why you'll love it as an educator. Lesson planning made simple. Create a detailed outline for your lessons or units with nested lists that you can expand or collapse as needed. Need to tweak something for next year? It's as easy as dragging and dropping. Track your to-dos. Keep track of assignments to grade, emails to send, and those IEP meetings that you need to prep for, all in a single searchable list. Collaborate with ease. Share lists or notes with colleagues, so co-teaching or team planning is seamless. The best part? Workflowy's minimalist interface lets you focus on what really matters. Your ideas. No clutter, no distractions. Just a clean workspace to help you stay on top of everything. And here's a little pro tip. Use Workflowy for student projects. Have them create outlines for essays or research papers. It's a great way to teach them structure and organization. Getting started is completely free. Head over to chrisnessy.com/workflowy to sign up and see why thousands of educators are calling it their go-to productivity tool. So why not give Workflowy a try? Simplify your life, streamline your teaching, and reclaim your time. That's chrisnessy.com/workflowy. Now let's get back to the episode. All right, let's kick things off by defining exactly what it means when we talk about gamification in education. At its core, gamification is the process of applying game mechanics, things like points, badges, leaderboards, levels, and challenges, to non-game settings, like our classrooms. What's the goal? To increase engagement, motivation, and learning outcomes by tapping into the same psychological drivers that make games so compelling. Think about it. How many of us played video games or even play games on our mobile devices? Our students are doing it, we're doing it, and these games keep us coming back because we want to earn the next badge. We want to level up. We want to beat our high score. Gamification brings that same dynamic to education by making learning more interactive, rewarding, and, I know we don't like to say this, fun. Now, before we go any further, let's clear up a common misconception. Gamification is not the same as game-based learning. Gamification is when we take elements from games, like earning experience points, progressing through levels, or unlocking rewards, and we apply them to an existing curriculum. For example, instead of just handing out grades on an assignment, you could introduce a point system where students earn XP, experience points, for completing tasks and reach different achievement levels as they progress. On the other hand, game-based learning means using actual games as the learning tool. Think about an educational game like Minecraft, the Education Edition, where students can build historical landmarks in a virtual world to deepen their understanding of history. Or a game like Dragon Box, which helps students learn algebra through puzzle solving. To sum this up, gamification enhances traditional lessons with game mechanics, while game-based learning uses actual games as the primary teaching tool. Now, both can be powerful, but today I just want to focus on gamification strategies and how they can transform your classroom. Now that we've laid the foundation, let's get into why gamification works so well and what makes it such a powerful tool in education. I'll be back after this. We all know it's important to keep our files organized, accessible, and most importantly, secure. That's why I want to introduce you to Sync.com, the ultimate cloud storage solution built with your privacy in mind. Sync makes it easy to store, share, and access your files from anywhere, whether you're at school, at home, or on the go. Need to share lesson plans with a colleague? Upload student resources to share with your class? Or you just want to keep all your important documents backed up in one place? Sync has you covered. What's the thing that sets Sync apart? End-to-end encryption. Your data is 100% private and secure, so you can confidently store sensitive documents like school records or lesson plans. You can share files or folders with colleagues, parents, or students in just a few clicks. No complicated setup required. And Sync works across all your devices, so you can upload a document from your school computer and access it later on your phone or a tablet. And here's a bonus for listeners of the House of EdTech. If you sign up using my link, chrisnessy.com/sync, that's SYNC, you'll get an additional 1 gigabyte of storage absolutely free. That's more space to keep your teaching material safe and accessible. With Sync.com, you'll have peace of mind knowing your files are secure, your privacy is protected, and you'll never lose track of important documents again. Head to chrisnessy.com/sync today to get started. That's chrisnessy.com/sync. And now, back to the show. So now that we understand what gamification is, let's talk about why it works. Why do leaderboards, rewards, and challenges keep students engaged? Well, it comes down to psychology, the way our brains are wired to respond to achievements, competition, and progress. Let's get into this. First, let me talk about motivation, that drive to achieve. The natural drive that we all have to succeed, improve, and be recognized for our efforts is intrinsic motivation. Gamification taps into this by giving our students a reason to stay engaged beyond just getting a good grade. Think about video games. Players don't need to be forced to play. They willingly take on challenges, solve puzzles, and level up because they enjoy the process. The same principle applies in education. When students see that their efforts contribute to a bigger goal, whether it's earning that badge, completing a quest, or progressing to the next level, they become self-motivated learners. Instead of just handing students a worksheet and telling them to get it done, imagine framing it as a mission to unlock the next step of their journey. Suddenly, the same task feels a bit more meaningful and a little bit more engaging. Now let's talk about dopamine and the idea of the reward system. Our brain's natural feel-good chemical is dopamine. Every time we achieve something, whether it's finishing a task, reaching a goal, or earning a reward, our brain releases dopamine, makes us feel accomplished. It reinforces the desire to keep going. Gamification takes advantage of this by breaking lessons into smaller, achievable goals that provide consistent, immediate rewards. Instead of waiting until the end of the marking period or the semester or the trimester for that one big grade, students can experience mini wins along the way. Think about the example I mentioned earlier in the episode, Duolingo. Why is learning a language so addicting on that platform? It's because every lesson completed earns you points, badges, and streaks, triggering that little dopamine boost that makes you want to keep going. Why can't we apply that same idea to our classrooms? Instead of students seeing a 5-paragraph essay, or a book report, or a lab report, or insert assignment here as an overwhelming task, what if we were to just make it a multi-step challenge where each section completed unlocks some type of reward? There's a lot of power in that. Another reason gamification works is immediate feedback. In a traditional classroom, students often have to wait days, sometimes weeks, to get the results of their assignments or their assessments. But with gamification, they get an instant response that helps them understand their progress in real time. Think about tools like Kahoot or Quizizz. Students answer a question and immediately they see if they got it right. Not only does this keep them engaged, but it also helps them self-correct and learn from their mistakes instantly. Another example, consider progress bars in video games. Players always know how far they are from reaching the next level, and that keeps them pushing forward. Why not apply that to learning? If students can track their own progress, whether through a visual tracker, the leaderboard, or even a class-wide challenge, they're far more likely to stay motivated and invested in their learning journey. Now, if you're still wondering whether gamification really works, just take a look at how it's used outside of education. Fitness apps like Fitbit and Apple Health, they use streaks, badges, and goals to keep users like you and me motivated to exercise. Although maybe I could be a little more motivated. Starbucks rewards, airline loyalty programs, they all use points and levels to encourage repeat customers. Corporate training programs are gamifying professional development with interactive modules and achievement badges. Imagine how much fun the bloodborne pathogen video would be if you were earning points instead of PD hours. We are constantly surrounded by gamified experiences in our daily lives. So again, why not try to bring that level of engagement and that type of motivating approach into our classrooms? So now we understand the why behind gamification. Let's talk about the how. In the next segment, I'll walk you through some practical strategies that you can use to bring gamification into your classroom, whether you're looking for simple tweaks or a full-on transition. We're going to get some hands-on ideas right after this. Let's talk about a fun and creative way to enhance your classroom and bring a smile to your students' faces. Sticky Brand. Sticky Brand makes it super easy to create custom stickers for any occasion. Whether it's celebrating student achievements, decorating your classroom, or personalizing supplies, stickers are the perfect way to add a little flair to your teaching. And with Sticky Brand, you can design exactly what you need in no time at all. Here's how you can use Sticky Brand in your classroom. Reward your students with custom Great Job or Homework Hero stickers to recognize their hard work. Add your own personality to your classroom with stickers that match your theme or subject, like historical figures for history class or STEM icons for science. Get stickers for your school club, your sports teams, or extracurricular programs. Your students and the community will love them. You could also send home stickers with your school's logo or special event reminders to keep families connected. And the best part? Sticky Brand makes ordering completely hassle-free. Just upload your design, choose your size and shape, and they'll ship your stickers fast. No complicated steps, no waiting around. And here's an exclusive deal for listeners of the House of EdTech. When you visit chrisnessy.com/stickers, you'll get $5 off your first order of $60 or more. So whether you're stocking up for the entire school year or just a special event, this is the perfect time to give Sticky Brand a try. Custom stickers are a small investment that can make a big impact in your classroom. Again, head to chrisnessy.com/stickers to get started today. That's chrisnessy.com/stickers, because a little stickiness can go a long way. And now, back to the show. All right, now that we understand why gamification works, let's get into the fun part. How you can actually apply these strategies in your classroom. Whether you're a tech-savvy educator or you're just dipping your toes into gamification, these ideas will give you a solid starting point. Let's start with PBL. No, not that PBL. Let's talk about points, badges, and leaderboards. This strategy taps into students' natural desire for achievement and recognition. Think about how video games work. You complete a task, you earn points. You hit a milestone, you get a badge. You see your name on the leaderboard, and it pushes you to improve. We can bring that same excitement into the classroom. For example, you could assign points for completing assignments, participating in discussions, or even demonstrating positive behavior. Once students accumulate a certain number of points, they can level up or earn digital badges to showcase their accomplishments. And if you want to take it a step further, introduce a leaderboard. Not for intense competition, we don't want anybody to feel bad, but as a way to motivate students and celebrate their progress. A great tool for this is Classcraft. It transforms your classroom into a role-playing game where students create avatars, earn experience points, and unlock rewards. I've seen teachers use it when I've attended ed camps or conferences like ISTE, and teachers talk about what they're doing to gamify their classrooms, and they see some great results improving classroom management, student engagement, and those results are impressive. Next up, quests and challenges. This is where learning becomes an adventure. Instead of just assigning worksheets or standard projects, turn your lesson into a quest where students must complete challenges in order to progress. This works incredibly well for subjects like history, science, and even English and language arts. Let's say, you're a history teacher and you're covering ancient civilizations. Instead of just reading about the Egyptian pyramids, you could create a scavenger hunt where your students discover key artifacts by solving riddles or answering questions correctly. Each correct answer unlocks a new clue, leading them deeper into the lesson. You can apply this concept to any subject. A math teacher might create a code-breaking quest where students solve equations to uncover a hidden message. And a science teacher could design an escape room style challenge to reinforce lab concepts. When students feel like they're on a mission, they become more invested in the learning process. They might not even realize that they're learning. They might be having fun. Plus, the challenge-based format encourages teamwork, problem solving, and creativity. One of the most powerful motivators in gaming is choice. Players love to pick their character, their strategy, their path. In the classroom, we can apply the same concept to learning by giving students autonomy over how they engage with material. Instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, offer your students multiple ways to earn points or demonstrate their understanding. Maybe one student prefers taking a quiz, while another thrives in a group discussion or a creative project. Give students options, whether it's how they complete an assignment, the role they play in a group project, or the type of final product that they create in general. This makes them feel more in control of their learning experiences. Here's an example. In English class, students could choose between writing the essay, recording a podcast, or creating a digital presentation to analyze a novel. The end goal remains the same, but the path to getting there is flexible. This simple shift can make a huge difference in student engagement. Now, if you really want to immerse students in the learning, storytelling and themes can take gamification to the next level. This is where your classroom transforms into a new world. Yes, it's appropriate to do this now. In a world where students aren't just learners, they're characters in a larger story. Fun with audio, right? Imagine that you're a math teacher teaching fractions. Instead of just solving problems from a textbook, you frame the lesson as a space mission where students must complete fuel calculations to ensure their spaceship makes it to a distant planet. Or if you teach science, you could structure your unit as a zombie outbreak survival challenge, where students must apply the scientific method to develop a cure. This strategy works particularly well for younger students, but even a high school student can get engaged when a theme makes the learning experience feel unique. It's all about how you frame the lesson, and can you frame it in a way that sparks curiosity and excitement. And of course, we can't talk about any of this without highlighting some of the best digital tools that will make it easy to implement these strategies. Here are a few that I want to recommend, and they can definitely help you gamify your classroom. Number 1, Kahoot and Quizizz. These are perfect interactive quizzes that feel like a game show. They're great for review sessions, formative assessments, or just a fun way to reinforce concepts. Number 2, Minecraft in education. If you teach STEM, history, even language arts, this tool lets students build, explore, and collaborate in a virtual sandbox while completing structured educational challenges. And the last one I'll recommend, Class Dojo. Now, Class Dojo caught a lot of slack years ago for their attempt to gamify, and there were things out there that it was not good to, well, it wouldn't be good to shame students for their behavior, but you can use it for a lot more than that. But you can use this with younger students, and this tool will allow you to award points for positive behaviors, participation, academic achievements, and you can probably do a lot more than just that. Now, the best part, many of these tools are free or have good discounts. So you don't need a huge budget to get started with gamification. As you can see, there are so many ways to bring gamification into your classroom. Whether you start small with a simple point system or you go all in with quests and storytelling. The key is to make learning feel engaging, rewarding, and interactive. Now I want to hear from you. Have you used gamification in your classroom? What's worked for you? What challenges have you faced? Share your experiences with me on Blue Sky or Instagram. On Blue Sky, I am at Mr. Nessie. On Instagram, I'm at House of EdTech. Or you can send me an email, feedback@chrisnessie.com. I look forward to hearing from you, and I would love to share your responses and talk about this again on a future episode. Thank you for listening to the House of EdTech. If you're finding value in this podcast, subscribing or following is just the beginning. You can also make a meaningful impact by becoming an awesome supporter at chrisnessie.com/awesome. Your support helps me create more valuable content, reach more educators, and grow this EdTech community. I want to give a huge thank you to my current awesome supporters: Leo Calbush, Brian Carpenter, Aaron Cummings, Jeff Herb, Peggy George, and Matt Miller. Your dedication inspires me, and I am incredibly grateful for all of your generosity. When you become an awesome supporter, you're not just contributing. You're joining a passionate group of educators who believe in the power of technology to transform teaching and learning. Plus, you get this very nice heartfelt thank you from me in every episode. Of course, I still want to hear from all of you. Reach out with your thoughts, your questions, or any feedback. The email is feedback@chrisnessie.com, or leave a voicemail at chrisnessie.com/voicemail. Links and resources for today's episode can be found at chrisnessie.com/259. Spread the word about the House of EdTech by sharing this episode with a colleague. It's another great way to help grow the community. Next episode, I'm not going to tell you what I'm talking about yet, but I am going to release that episode on March 30th. That's right, March 30th. Until then, thank you for your support and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with education technology. It's 2025. We're a quarter of the way into the 21st century. We're not future ready. We are here. The future is now. So, hope you enjoyed the episode. Share the episode. Let me know your thoughts on the episode. Thank you for learning with me. And remember, using technology isn't difficult. Just give it a try.